Hi, my name is Chad O'Kane, and I'm going to show you how to properly coach a successful run and catch of a corner route. The first thing you want to take in consideration when you're coaching someone how to run this route is the stance. You want to make sure you have your front foot forward. If the ball's coming from my left foot should be forward. You get that left foot nicely in the ground and the right foot behind it, and you want to be in a nice, comfortable, neutral stance. It's whatever's comfortable for you. A lot of people get lower, stand more up, have their hands up, hands down. It's whatever's more comfortable and can get you off the ball the fastest as possible. Because you really want to explode out of this. And you don't want a false step. A false step is when you take your foot and lift it up and bring it back before you start taking off. That's just a wasted movement, and you're not going to gain any ground doing that. The next step after you get your stance down is driving off the ball and actually running the route. For the corner route, it's very important that you time it up well with the quarterback. You want to drive it to 12 yards before you make your break, and for most people, that's your fourth inside step. It's also important when you're running the route that you keep leverage on the defender above you. You don't want to leave the defender to where you're trying to go, so you always want to keep them on your inside hip if you're doing an out-breaking route. So if I have an alley player over me, you also have to be aware of a reroute. A reroute's when the linebacker will try to hit you and knock you off your path to try to slow you down. So as you're going through, the linebacker who tries to reroute you, you want to use a different kind of moves to try to like chop through or rip through his arms so he doesn't get a piece of you and knock you off and mistime the route. So once you get off, like I said, you want to make sure you keep leverage on that defender and you want to push it to 12 yards. It'll look something like this. It's very important when you're coaching your receivers that you emphasize the pressure step. The pressure step is what you saw at the end of my route, right after I broke into the corner. It's basically a hard step with a head nod that'll keep the defender from breaking on your route. You want to make sure you leave your defender where you're not going. You want to keep him on his toes and make him not able to break onto your route. So basically the pressure step, when you get to the top of the route, you're going to put your foot into the ground inside your framework. You don't want to get your legs outside your framework. It is just wasted movement and it'll slow down your route. And you want to give them a little head nod that keeps them back because they think that you might be going somewhere else. So basically the pressure step, when you're running in, you're just going to run, give the head nod and break into your route. You want to make sure after you make your pressure step, you want to gain ground with that foot. So a good way to coach your receivers on how to do that is after they do their pressure step to really drive that knee and gain ground like this. Now it's time for the most important part of the entire process, is catching the ball. If you can't catch the ball, it doesn't matter how good of a route you run, it doesn't mean anything. And there's some things about catching the ball that you may have learned or heard before if you've ever played football. It's just how to catch the ball. A lot of people teach catching it with like a diamond in front of your face like this. The problem with this is there's only certain 4 fingers that you can get on the ball and wrapping the rest of your hand. It's not much surface area to stop the ball. It's not really an effective way how to catch. So this is what it looks like catching with a diamond. You can see I only have 4 points of pressure on the ball, and it's pretty tough to catch it like this. So the way you want to coach your receivers is the bear claw technique. It adds a lot more surface area for you to catch the ball, and it opens up your vision a little bit better. With the diamond in front of your face, your vision's kind of hindered by your hands. But if you use the bear claw, which is turn your hands like this, you have a much more range of vision in between your hands, plus you get more fingers on the ball, and it's easier to catch. And this is what the bear claw looks like. Also in this route, there's a good chance you might have to do an over-the-shoulder catch because of the angle at which the ball has been thrown. When you do this, you want to make sure, if you have the defender still trailing you, you want to keep him on your back hip and catch the ball over your shoulder with your hands open like this. After you've caught the ball, it's time to tuck it. If you don't tuck the ball fast, you can either drop it or the defender can strip it out. If you're tucking the ball, you want to have your claw like that over the tip and tuck the point into your arm and your side of your body. There's 5 points of pressure is what's usually taught and what you should teach your receivers. All the points on your arm and your body with the ball is touching. The harder you squeeze, the less chance you have to fumble. One drill you can do with your receivers is after they catch the ball, it's called putting it to bed. You can tuck it and give it a little tap to make sure the ball's tight in there. It's putting it to sleep like you're tucking it into bed. After the receiver has successfully ran, caught, and tucked the ball, it's important that you emphasize the value of getting yak, which stands for yards after catch, after they catch the ball. Just coach them to get upfield and get to the end zone and break as many tackles as they possibly can.
Here are a few successful examples of the corner route.
It is so crucial that after your receiver scores that they have a properly choreographed touchdown dance.